Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw, and I'm here at Virtuoso Travel Week in Las Vegas, and it's the last day. But on the first day of this week-long thing, I was at a conference with this gentleman who was in charge of the conference. It's Gilad Berenstein, who's a tech entrepreneur, an investor, and also a Virtuoso board member, and he really has taken it upon himself to create this Virtuoso Tech Summit. Every time, and it's just been getting bigger and bigger, and we're going to talk about that, and you're going to find out really what the hot button issues are today in travel technology, and actually in technology in general. You're going to find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Gilad, it's always great to see you. Every time we have such a great time at this conference.
Yes, we do.
And so your conference, this was the largest one yet, right?
By a lot. We had almost 600 people show up in the room, and we could have easily had a couple hundred more if we had more space.
Well, that's it. And so I was there the whole day, pretty much all the day, and it was a very interesting program. And what were some of the takeaways from this year's conference? It was a little bit different this year, right?
Absolutely. So we made two big changes to the summit this year. First is we had what we call Innovator Spotlight. We brought in members, agency owners from Virtuoso, and partners who are building technology in-house, in our network, in our industry, and we give them a spotlight along with startups and other technologists to show the incredible work being done within the network. The second thing we did is we added a roundtable discussion series with 60 concurrent conversations in one big room. And what I found is that the level of technology sophistication has grown so much in this network that they are now hungry to talk to their peers. What did you do? What can I learn from you, etc. So those are two of the new elements, and the big takeaway is there's a lot of technology being developed in this network.
And a lot of technology being developed at almost the grassroots level, I think, right?
Absolutely. That's the whole point of the great commoditization of AI. We no longer have to rely on startups or Silicon Valley. Any one of these businesses can build technology themselves, which is a huge advantage that they did not have over the last 20 years.
And then, indeed, you just said the magic words, AI, artificial intelligence. I got to keep reminding people because people still look at me blankly. A few people say, what is AI? No, now AI has become almost a noun like this. So how is AI evolving in travel? And I know you gave a presentation. Actually, we got homework. He sent a speech that he was going to give, but he actually put it on, Gilad put it on a video, and we watched, but AI is critical. And talk about those different levels of AI that you see in the market today.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different ways that AI is being adopted within our businesses. One is productivity, and that's the low-hanging fruit. We should all begin, and as I told all the business owners that were there, if you're not using it, you should start, because I can tell your competition is using it. Then we're moving into more sophisticated use cases, both in back of the house at hotels and cruise lines, to allow the staff to not be clerks, but to do hospitality, to be at the front of the house with their guests. And then on the advisor side, a lot of advisors are training their own AI models, taking the recommendations they've made over the last decades and training an AI. We can now take notes from a call with a customer and have the AI make recommendations, not generically, but based on that specific advisor's experience.
No, that's amazing, and it was obviously the topic du jour and has been. I think people are not as afraid of. I was going to ask you, what is you believe how Virtuoso advisors view AI today? Do they think it's just a help to their businesses? Is it a threat? I think many of them have gotten over that. But and can you remind us? You just talked a little bit about those 3 or 4 levels of AI. You see, there was the super AI that you think is very far in the future. But talk a little bit about what you see, what you're hearing from Virtuoso advisors about AI.
Yeah, absolutely. The number one concern advisors and everyone else has is accuracy, and making sure the information coming out of the AI can be relied on. And one of the things we talked about is we need to be training AI models within the network, within our industry, that are not trained on the generic stuff on the internet, but are trained on verified information coming from our supply partners. The second thing you touched on, which is really important, is I like to say that there's 3 categories of AI, and we have to think about them separately. Category 1 is just AI. These are tools for people and businesses. Level 2 is AGI, artificial general intelligence. This is a whole constellation of bots, AI bots. They're going to be released throughout the world to accomplish tasks for businesses, for people, etc. And in the more far off distance, some people estimate 2050, we're working on ASI, artificial superintelligence. And I'm sure all your viewers have been paying attention to the crazy $100 million signing bonuses that Mark Zuckerberg has been giving. That's all about building.
I've been paying it and understanding. I was born like about 50 years too early. I think this is crazy because they are just. It's amazing how much money is being invested in our AI platforms now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they believe, all the big companies believe, that those who get to ASI, artificial superintelligence, first will likely win the economy, which is why we see all these tech companies spending billions of dollars to build out these teams.
Yeah, but your view is sort of more micro, that AI can be done by almost anyone, I think, and you're talking about the first level of AI, so you can create solutions that are geared towards your organization, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Both I and Matthew spoke about this throughout the sessions this week. AI-generated code is a huge unlock for this industry, where they've been reliant on third parties to build technology, and often those third parties don't understand the travel industry business or the hotel business. So now every one of them can build their own technology, which is a huge advantage for small and medium businesses across the economy.
Well, it definitely was, and so you have agencies building their own systems. I talked to a lot of them who I thought they were very innovative at the time. Of course, now we're almost to the next level where they had AI systems that were geared towards their agency and their terminology and everything else. But then the other thing was that you did mention it earlier, that you did highlight where there were certain agencies that are partnering with other companies, and they were the ones that you highlighted here. Very interesting, because you had these companies that are working directly, and you actually had them in the room where they were talking about what they were developing and who they were partnering with. So that was fascinating.
Yeah, I said one of the things I'm most proud of in the summit is 5-6 years ago, there were very few entrepreneurs and very few investors focused on technology for travel agencies, for luxury travel, etc. And I had to bid down their door to come here. Now it's the opposite.
Now it's the opposite. Well, you talk about investment, because you did mention something that was interesting, that there was a point here where we had everybody throwing money at little tiny companies, and there was, and then you said the money has actually, it's fewer companies being invested in, but the money is greater to each one, right?
That's exactly right. So we've seen a 35% decrease in the number of travel technology companies funded over the last 6 months, but only a 3% decrease in the number of dollars, meaning each deal on average was larger, meaning these companies are more mature.
Yeah. Now, in fact, you should know, because you had a tech company. That's why when I first met you, you had a company called U-Trip.
Exactly right.
And it was probably ahead of its time, I think, right?
Just a bit. We were doing AI in 2011, what I call the early adopter and hard worker era, because we had to build it all in-house. But the exciting thing today is people can use the best AI ever built through an API in minutes. It's really exciting.
And what are you working on today? I mean, you're a tech investor and an entrepreneur. You are working with Virtuoso on stuff, but you must be doing a few other things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a full-time investor. So I'm always looking for startups in travel, hospitality, and lifestyle that are combining AI with human connection, with amazing experiences. And I'm looking to fund those companies and support them.
Yeah, well, this is why you mentioned at the beginning of your presentation, travel has always been somewhat at the forefront of technology. We were the first to have GDSs, have computers on everybody's desks. It was definitely, they kept innovating. And then, in the new one, they have to sort of catch up with the AI and all those solutions, right?
That's exactly right. We used to be early adopters in industry. The GDSs were truly novel technologies when they were launched. But then something happened in the late 90s and early 2000s where we became laggards. And I think the great commoditization gives us the opportunity to leapfrog other industries and take our position as innovators again.
Yeah, because AI is now something that almost everybody can do with the right help, and that's it. So great. Now, I assume you're planning for next year's Tech Summit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of really good opportunities next year. The hotel community wants more, the owners want more, the frontline advisors want more. So we've got some really exciting decisions to make over the next few months. We will absolutely bring it back again, hopefully bigger and better.
Absolutely. Well, I enjoyed it. I've gone to it in part over a few times before, but this one I stuck out to almost the end, and then it was amazing. And also loved your presentation in advance. It sort of clarified where everything was. Except, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to have homework, Eli, beforehand. He'd say, get all these homework, watch the speech, think of the different issues you want to bring up. But it was really made the conference really much more beneficial. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was the goal.
All right. I'm with Gilad Berenstein. We're here at the Virtuoso Travel Week last week, and now we're heading down the state. We're going to the gala and then maybe Club V.
We'll see you there.
Absolutely. I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.